In this video, we'll take a look at all the material properties that you can find. So let's just create a new document for that. Go ahead and 3D. I'm thinking about okay, so sphere. Okay, soda can could be good here. So let's just do that. Okay, I'm going to duplicate it. 3D, then merge 3D layers. So I'll be working on this one. I just added this one so you can see the reflections on the other stuff. So I want to use this one. Here's the you have the label material and the cap material. So I'll go for the label material, and you can see there's the properties that we have. We will talk about them one by one. So we'll start by the diffuse. So this is the simplest one, and diffuse is basically the color. Now you can see now the diffuse is set to gray, and I have a red color. So what's happening here is I have a texture map. You can see applied. So this is my texture map. This is the red layer that I created. So what I can do here, I can edit the texture so I can show you what's going to happen. So I think close, ask me if I want to save, I say yes, and here's it. So, and it happens to be selecting this guy, this guy's material. Okay, I want this one, so let's just move on. I'm going to remove the texture so we can see the other properties here. So I can just now, if I want a solid color, I don't have to use the texture, so I can just pick the color that I want. Okay, for the other one, I'm just going to change it. Okay, so let's getting back to this guy. So this is the diffuse. This will define the color of your object. So if you want to add a texture or a label or something, you add it through the diffuse slot. So then we have the specular. Now this will define the highlights, how strong your highlights will be. So it's not the reflection, this is the specular highlight. Now this will work with the luminance values. So black means you have no highlights. Basically you have like a matte object, so you can see that. I will go ahead and render. So I have this very matte object, and specular will give you this strong specularity. So if you want to do something like metal, so you can see this is the way to go. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it something like this. Then we have the illumination. Okay, so this is like adding a light property to your material, so you can make it emit light. So this is what illumination will do. I'm going to add illumination on the other material so we can see it reflecting here. So I'll go for the illumination, make it something like blue, and try to render. So you can see the blue light coming on this object. It's not because of the textures, it's because of the illumination. So it's not like color bleeding or something. So it's illuminating the scene. Okay, so let's go the other way around so I can show you this. I'm going to remove the illumination from this one. And okay, so you can see that clearly in the scene what's happening. Here's the light coming from this object onto the other object. Okay, so let's get back here, and I'm going to remove it. So now the ambient will relate directly to the ambient control in the global settings. So in the global ambient, If you have ambient shown in the reflections, this will affect it. So this is actually the same parameters. So if you know this, the other one, you'll be familiar with this one. Then we have the shine. So this one, first one of these sliders. Now the shine works directly with the specular. So I need to have specular to illustrate the shine. Okay, I'm going to add specular, something like that. Okay, I'm going now to render, and you can see how it's. I have a lot of highlight here, great highlight, and it's being distributed on the surface, yeah, diffused. So this is dispersion happening. I have a lot of light dispersion happening, and this is how I'll get the effect. So this is not like a crisp reflection or crisp highlight. So I can adjust that using the shine. So if I have 100% shine, that means I'll have no light dispersion. So you can see that without even rendering. But I'm going to render it so you can see the effect. So can you see this? I can see the highlights, the shape of the highlights. But if I will go ahead and say no shine means 100% dispersion, and you'll have this very strong highlight that's actually will blow out your object. So you can see this. You can control this, balance it. So you can have a little bit of highlight and a little bit of definition for that. So 28% looks to be a good result for this type of material. So then we have the reflection. We'll just take the shine so we can see the reflection better. And or let me just take the specular, would be better. Okay, for now you can see here's my matte object, not reflecting. Okay, I know. Okay, here's my matte object, not reflecting anything. So it's not making this guy on the left. It's not making any difference with it. So go ahead and adjust the reflection to 100%. Render again. So you have to render to see the reflections. You can see how I can see this object reflecting on this one. So and it's very crisp, and I can tell what this object is even if I didn't have it on my frame here. So even if I didn't know what this object is, I can just look at the reflection and see it. So the reflection is really clear and crisp. Now, especially now it's a little bit curved here because of the shape of this object. But if I had like a band, just 2D plane, I will have the reflection just the same shape, so it will be more defined. So you can control the definition of that reflection using the roughness. So 0% roughness, that means I'll have very crisp reflections, so it'll be reflecting the same shape. I'll take it more, so like that. Render again. You can see how my reflection is being a little bit blurred. And if I will take it too far, I'll reach a point when I can't see anything. So you can see I can tell that there's something reflecting, but I don't know what it is. So you can use this effect if you want to make frosted glass or something. This could be helpful. Okay, so let's just take that all the way down, and even the reflection. Okay, now let's just see the other option. The other slider we have is bump. Now this won't change anything if you will drag it because the bump needs a map. You can see the bump happening here. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit more. So I can adjust the value of the bump. You can see that. So 0% will be no bumps, and you can add a slight bump or make it very exaggerated. Okay, let's just delete this layer. Okay, so let's move on to the next option that we have. Let's just do that. Okay, now we have opacity. So this is going to be 100% opaque, as you would expect. So 0% will be transparent. So if I'll make a little bit of a render, you can see it's like I have no object here. It's like air. Okay, so this you can change that behavior using the diffraction. So I'll take the opacity. Okay, this material. You can see my opacity is 0. So this is the diffraction now. Now 1 will mean that it's going to be like air. So if you change the opacity to 0%, your object will disappear, as I did here. So the refraction here means not the amount of refraction, but the index of refraction. And what I mean by that is when you have a light ray that's coming from like medium like air, then penetrate to something else like water, so the direction of light will change. And the ratio between the first direction in the first medium like air and the second direction in the water will be defined by this slider, by the index of refraction. So 1 means 1 to 1, so the same direction, nothing changes, will be like air. So if I will change this, now let's just make a render here. So you can see this like air, it's actually disappearing. It's like I have nothing here. So I'll go ahead this guy and change it to something like 1.5. So this will be around 1.54 something. Could be this like glass. Okay, something like that. So you can see now, clearly you can see the difference. Now when the light hits this surface, it will change direction. That's why you can see this distortion in the object behind it. So let's just change the color of the other one. Okay. Remove the texture. So you can clearly see that. It's like a glass. Value around 1.3 will be for water if you want to make water effect. So 1.3 will be like water. So you can see the difference in the appearance. Okay, let's get back there. Okay. Now the other thing you have here, so let's just take that all the way to 100. You can apply normal map if you want. So this is very straightforward, has no extra control, so you can apply the normal map to get more better look than bump. And this is the environment. This will take the everything surrounding your object and make it an environment. So you can make it just, or if you want, you can make a reflection environment. So this will be visible in the reflection. So if you have a chromosphere, if you look at it, you can see the environment. So this is it. So this is the environment, the option here. So hopefully this covers everything about the material. If I've just forgot anything, I'll make sure to come back and cover it.